Hi, this is Mark from Beacon Equipment again, and I'm with Al from RTI. RTI is the main supplier for our compressed air filtration. And a big problem here in Houston and South Texas and Louisiana is water in the compressed air lines, or dirt and oil in the compressed air lines. It seems to be a problem we run into almost every day for our customers. So Al's here to help us discuss this topic and what we can do to help you have cleaner compressed air at your point of use. Al, let's talk about oil first. Where does oil come from in the airlines?
Oil is a byproduct of the compressor. As the compressor runs, it uses oil, and depending, all compressors, whether they're a hydrovane or a piston or a screw, you always have a little bit of oil coming down line. The newer the compressor, the less the problem is not as profound. But as the compressors get older, they throw more oil down line.
The seals loosen up, and it bypasses more, just like a car. It will bypass
Correct.
more oil, and it get downstream into the lines. What kind of things can we do to remove oil from our airlines?
Well, the biggest thing is to put a mainline filter between after the compressor, and if there's a refrigerated dryer, between the compressor and the refrigerated dryer. And what that does is that it's extremely efficient at taking out the oils and preventing any oils going down line.
Okay, and then is there any other filters we need to put on, maybe at the point of use?
Yes, at point of use you want to put filters for, you look at the general shop area where the air tools are used, DA grinders, buffers, impact wrenches. You want to have a very efficient water trap, because that's going to take out the water and the dirt and make the tools last longer and run more efficiently.
Okay. Well, you brought up water, and that's so our main tool on the oil though is the mainline filter.
Right.
But you brought up water, and again that's the big issue that we have. Again, where does the water, how much water come from?
Again, compressors work off of air. Air is brought in through the inlet, and depending on the humidity, the higher the humidity, the more water that's going to be produced. For example, we're in Houston here. When it's highly humid, there's going to be a lot of humidity, and the water, as it's compressed, the water gets entrapped in a vapor, and as it condenses out and goes down line and cools down, it goes to a solid basically, and that's where the problems occur.
Okay, so what's some of the steps that we use in typical compressed air systems to get the water out?
Well, the first thing would be, after the compressor, you would have a water trap that knocks down the bulk water. Then you'd have a tank to have the water settle in the tank, and then you would have an aftercooler that's usually built into the compressor that lowers the temperature. Then you would have a refrigerated dryer. Basically, that's going to lower the temperature and knock down about up to 93% of the moisture there. But there still will be more. Those are for at the compressor. That's about all you can do. The rest of it would be point of use.
Okay, so it sounds like the key goal to getting water out of your compressed air is to reduce the temperature of the water or the air as much as you can. Then the water will solidify and fall out.
Correct.
Okay, so one of the things, some of the things that we run into is what should you do, like say with your air tank? I think a common thing is either an automatic tank drain or draining your tank on a regular basis.
Correct. At least once a day, you want to basically either manually drain it, or you want to have some type of mechanical or electronic drain on there that basically dumps the water out, so you're not filling up the tank with water, and the tank can be used for storage like it was supposed to be.
Okay, and then it'll bypass that and go on down.
Correct.
And then so we have an aftercooler that lowers the temperature a little bit, and the condensate drops out. The filter, the mainline filter, the coalescer, or the oil water separator, it separates out. Then the refrigerated dryer. Right. How basically does a refrigerated dryer work?
A refrigerated dryer is similar to your air conditioning unit in your house or in your car. It basically lowers the temperature of the air. And for example, for every 20-degree drop in temperature, 50% of the moisture that's entrained in the air as a vapor will turn to liquid. And refrigerated dryers will lower the temperature to about 38-degree dew point. And so you're going to get upwards of 93% of the moisture taken out of there, and you're going to have a relative humidity or compressed air humidity of about 18 to 28%.
And that's a good humidity range for most applications in an automotive service or body shop.
Right. For a shop, that's good. That's great for everything in the shop except for the the painting area.
In the paint area. And some of the coatings, whether you're using a solvent-based paint or a water-based paint, does require a better, cleaner air for your spray gun.
Correct. Yes, Mark. The paint companies want 10% or less compressed air humidity for solvent-based paints, and they want 3% or less compressed air humidity for water-based paints. So the refrigerated dryer is going to get you the 18%, which is great, but you still need something a little bit better in the painting area to get you down to those percentages.
What type of filtration are you talking about?
The best type of filtration on the market would be a desiccant type filter. That'll give you a minus 40-degree dew point, and it'll take down the relative humidity, compressed air humidity, to about 0%.
Okay. But you also, I know on our E4000s or EH4000s from RTI, you have multiple filters on there. And what do the other two filters do?
Right. What happens is you can never protect enough for oil in a shop. So you want to take the oil out at the compressor, but sometimes you don't know if there's oil down line for whatever reason. So want to have a pre-filter that takes out the water, bulk water, dirt, and oil. And the desiccant is basically going to take out the vapor.
Okay, so you want to put another source of filtration for water, dirt, and oil at the spray area, because you don't know if you have metal lines or hard pipe lines, you could be getting moisture gets in there from the typical or your regular heating and cooling during the day and the evening, and then that moisture can cause corrosion inside there. You can get rust flakes, you get more water and dirt coming down line. You also may have some oil in there from when the pipe was threaded on if it's a new installation and hasn't worked itself out. Is there anything else we need to talk about this, Al?
Well, what you need to know, the painter, the shop owner, is that about 75% of the problems with the quality of the finish is directly related to the air quality, and that means flow, how much flow, SCFM they have, how much pressure they have, and then is there dirt, is there water, is there oil, is there particulate? What is happening? But what we find is when we're looking in the shops, about 75% of the problems they have with the quality of the finish is directly related to the air. So if you take care of your air, the rest will fall in place.
Okay. Well, we appreciate your time. We hope we've helped you understand a little bit about where oil and water and dirt comes from in your compressed air system and some ways to get it out. We'd be happy to come out and do an air quality check for you, do an inspection on your system, and maybe make some suggestions on how to help you improve your compressed air. We'd like to thank you for your time, and Al, we appreciate your time also.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. Thanks for having me.